Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. Tomorrow is Labor Day, so I am definitely ready for my Labor Day weekend. I'm not working tomorrow night. What's up, Ricky, bro? How you doing tonight?
What up? What up? What up? I'm doing good, man. Bro, it's been a long week, even longer weekend, but it was a good weekend. I can't complain about that. And I was looking forward to just hanging out with you, man, talking about this absolute gem of a classic film. So, how
Yeah,
about you, man?
it's been a while. It's been you know what? Actually, the weekend, thanks to my lovely husband, he packed in my whole entire weekend, and actually, we packed in something for tomorrow also. But yeah, today we were hanging out at the pool for a little while. And I'm sitting there, and everybody's like, "Hey, are you having a drink?" I'm like, "No, man, I gotta do Brains and Brews tonight. We're gonna be live, and for that one, I like to wait." So yeah, it was a little bit torture just watching my friends just drinking their beer and the nice. But hey, speaking of beer, let's go ahead before we go
Speaking
to the
of
movie because
beer,
I'm
I know
sure
you've
we're
been
both
waiting a long
thirsty.
time for this beer,
Well,
son.
so here I got mine ready because I've had this one. Um,
What you
if you've
got? What you
watched
got?
any of these episodes, I have mentioned before, I've been trying to find an all-day IPA because it's in Florida, especially. It's hot. You don't want to have those strong ones and be dying in the heat. But some of them have kind of been like, eh. But I think I may have found it, and it's from Lagunitas Brewing Company. It's
Ooh, I'm a fan of them.
daytime. So it is a 4% beer. Yes, it just means you're able to drink a little more and not be sloshed, an
He
hour
said
into your
slosh.
barbecue.
I love
And
that word.
for those who are watching their weight, it's only 3 carbs and 98 calories. And I have to say, I actually do have been feeling a little bit better the next day and not so bloated from we've had those stronger beers, especially. But listen, it's light, but it's not like piss light, if you know what I mean. How some of them, like when you taste it, is just no, it hits flavorful. It's great for the pool, the beach, for grilling outside. So salute, because I think I've now found my favorite new all day
I
IPA.
told you, man. I didn't put you onto those per se, but I did bring it up, man. You should try the all day ones because you be out early doing your
I
thing,
know.
come back, you still feel good.
Yeah, no,
like,
I
like you
really
say, you
like it.
don't feel all sloshed out.
I can by fourth one I can still be as productive, and I'm not like starting to bobble ahead a little bit. What about you,
Right.
bro? What you got
I
for
got
tonight?
something completely different, man. I'm breaking one of my rules here. I'm going a little higher today. This is a 7.8.
Mm-mm.
It's up there. It's up there. But I fell in love with the can because I love collecting the beer cans. But it's from Labyrinth Brewing Company. It's never heard of them, but believe it is local from Connecticut. I could be wrong, but
Nice.
it's it's called it's a hazy double India Pale Ale. Now this is a NE IPA, means New England IPA. So that's why I'm assuming it's local. But it's got a cool artwork by Charlie, and it says here, if you can see it, you can't see it.
Yeah.
Dead inside. Yes, it says I am dead inside, and that's what these poor victims in this movie. That's what they feel. But I love the colors. I love the artwork on it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
pretty cool.
cool can. It's a pint. Like I said, it's pretty strong, man. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but I poured it already, so I'm not fumbling on camera. So,
All right. Well,
salute,
hopefully you
my
ate a little
brother.
something.
Let's see.
Salute.
And the color, yeah, it's in there. It's in between. It's not like completely like whitewashed, and it's not completely piss yellow. So
Yeah.
like when
No, that
you
looks tasty.
dehydrate it and it's got like that dark brownish fucking urine, you know, look to it. Nah, this looks fresh, man. Salute.
Salute. Well, and I like hazy
Oh,
doubles,
okay.
but
Right. I will
I have
say right now, I'm not a fan of one thing, and this is the brilliance of the shows. We try new beers. They don't always win. A little thick, a little thick. I think that's part of that
uh
double haze.
that's the
That double
double.
haze. Yeah, yeah. I like my beers to be as far as lighter. I'm not a fan of thick beers like a Guinness and stuff like that. Um, Oddly enough, it was in the fridge this whole time, and it's still a little warm, which is weird.
That is something you have to do with it, hazy doubles. Like
Yeah.
I anything that I get, especially when I've known it's gonna be thicker, I
Yeah.
actually will throw into the freezer for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes before we go to
Right.
record. So then that way it's nice and cold and stays cold.
Yeah. Well.
And this is your first time watching. Sorry, we kind of jumped into that. So, obviously, we're going to be talking about a horror movie, but we want to introduce you guys to brews that we try out. So, in each episode, we do try to make sure to bring something new. Every once in a while, the weekend gets lost, but that is the goal, is to basically introduce you to a new beer. And as we're having this discussion, by the end, we're going to let you know how this beer is making us feel. With that, let's go ahead and get into the movie. Hit it, Rick.
Let's go. You ready, brother? You ready?
I'm ready.
Send more paramedics. Let's go.
It has been established persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
Manhattan, from Harlem to Queens, the zombies are taking over.
Widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life, seeking human victims.
No more room in hell. The dead walk here. Send more paramedics.
And with that, welcome to Brains and Brews. We'll be discussing Return of the Living Dead. Let's say hello. We got Adam M. Hey, boys. Well, it seems there are not too many brains in this one. Yeah, he had I told him too. I said, he was like making comments, and I go, when I told Ricky this is going to be your first time, his response was, oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Trust me, we knew it.
You know what? I bet you after listening to us talk about it, he's going to appreciate it more.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm all for stupid can't be hard, but this one misses the mark for me. Oh, brother, if you don't know the history of this film, so sit back, relax. We got you, brother. We got you. And if you still don't like it, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. All right, Joe, take us on. Oh, take us away. We just started about my thought.
All right, so yes, so it is the 40th anniversary, actually, of The Return of the Living Dead. It is directed by Dan O'Bannon. It is written by Rudy Ricci and John Russo, and it stars Clu Gallagher as Bert Gallagher as Bert,
My man,
James
Clue.
Karen as Frank, and Beverly Randolph as Tina. And this is like, I mean, they put it Return. It's not necessarily a sequel in the sense. It's actually just the start of another series is kind of what I looked at it, because it ties it in only as far as name. But this was definitely 80s. I have to say, it had been a while since I've watched the movie, and I was like, I can't recall much of the movie. But the first thing that came up, was, which I'll talk about a little bit, but obviously, the whole brains. I'm like, oh my God, so that's where this is from. But it is definitely a time capsule movie. You have to see it with the lens of, when it was released, and not so much with the lenses that we have now. But like for me, I'll let you, because you do have a little more knowledge as far as when it comes to these type of movies, even though I didn't moderate, but that's why I go to him, so that way he can say all this stuff, and then I don't have to worry about talking a whole lot. But how did they tie in Night of the Living Dead to Return of the Living Dead?
I might be a little bit here. I'll try and condense this as much as possible. I may miss a few things, but I know you started your intro here saying it's a tiny name only, but honestly, it's really not, because John Russo co-scripted this. It is, if you don't know, he co-scripted The Night of the Living Dead with George Romero. So that was a novelization. I don't know, maybe a short story, whatever it was, but they wrote a story first, and The Return of the Living Dead was supposed to be the continuation of Night of the Living Dead. Once Romero and Russo kind of parted ways, the kind of the deal was Russo kept the Living Dead title. That's why George went on to make Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, no Living Dead in the title. So Russo decided to, okay, well, let me take the Night of the Living Dead and incorporate it into the script. And that's why in this movie, the Night of the Living Dead exists, and it's actually used as a cover-up for what really happened in this film, as far as the government and the cover-ups. They accidentally shipped the real corpses to the Unada medical supply company, you know what I mean? And what I like about it, it grounded it in a way where I like how they said there was this chemical. It was a chemical. It could
Two
be
245 trioxin,
trioxin.
which was supposed to spray the marijuana plants. So screw the government for coming up with a chemical to try to destroy the marijuana. But anyway, sorry.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting that you said that because that chemical is a play on Agent Orange. So those chemicals, if you look at it, it was really used to, it's either like sprayed or dusted on plants to kind of, remove the leaves and shit like that. And of course, Frank in this movie took that and he made it a little bit. He played with the idea of it, but he used it in a sense of, oh, this is what they use for the cannabis, the marijuana back in the 60s, which makes perfect sense because that's what really would happen. So I like how they really did tie all that together. And I really loved how the zombies came to be because it was a very it's a dumb movie, right, on the surface, but
Yeah.
but the reasoning behind this, it's weird because if you think about it, it makes sense and it could happen in a way, maybe not reanimate them into like the living dead, but a chemical that does some pretty fucked up shit. And I'm guarantee you stuff like this has happened before, but it was always covered up and swept under the rug. And unfortunately, these two morons fucking I love how they were like, this shit ain't gonna leak, right? This Frank and the other guy got I forgot his name. But anyway, they fucking caused the leak. They inhaled the gas, and the gas reanimated the corpse inside of the medical supply because they would supply fresh corpses for medical schools or whatnot. And this corpse, and what I loved about it, they said, well, how did they kill the zombies in the movie? This is when they call Bert, that's Clu Gallagher, that's the owner of this company. And he asked, oh, shoot him in the head. Is that what they did? They killed the brain? Yeah, kill the brain. And they killed the brain and nothing. And what I love about these zombies is they don't die. They're indestructible. You have to literally destroy every piece of this creature because it's still alive. The flesh is animated no matter what. Yep. And that's scary because you can't stop them and they're intelligent, right? They still keep a lot of, thought process. They make plans, they organize, they run, they're runners. This is one of the early, not the first ones, but early form of runners.
I was gonna say we have runners.
So, and I love the fact that when they cremated the poor bastard, right? They went and they got their man, the mortician, and when they cremated the body, and just the smoke of, I mean, I've been to a cemetery, right? I have a family member that's buried right in front of a crematorium. So every now and then, if I will go to visit, they will be burning a body, and the smell that comes out of like the smokestack, it's horrendous. Yo, bro, it's like the worst fucking smell.
It is.
And knowing that it's a body that's being burned makes it even worse. So when I saw this scene, and I love how miraculous it is, it starts raining and lightning and thundering and shit, and it turned that smoke into acid rain essentially, and it dumped it all on top of that cemetery, causing all of the undead to reanimate and come back to life. Classic zombie too. These zombies are modeled after like one of the influences as far as the production design was the EC comics. You can tell by the look of the zombies, and zombie movies don't do this enough. When they got actual undead rising from their graves, and I love how they even had like skeletal ones, just to tell you it doesn't matter.
What
it
type
don't matter.
of
As long as you're dead, it could be skeletal. It don't matter how decomposed you are. You could be fresh, and even if you're alive, which is a new wrinkle into this, even if you're alive, it slowly turns you into a zombie, which is crazy to think about because they fucking inhaled this shit. I loved it. I just loved how they ground like the situation, and they made it tangible with the acid rain. Like it burns your skin, just to let you know this shit is fucking fierce. But that's the least of their worries, man. What happens after, it's much worse, man. So this movie does a lot there's a lot of lore behind it, a lot of history behind the production on this movie. Toby Hooper was going to originally direct this movie, but they made it taking a little long, and he went to do Life Force. And Dan O'Bannon co-wrote Life Force with Toby Hooper, and he was asked to step in to direct this movie, and that's how we got the Dan O'Bannon connection here. He made a few changes to the script because he didn't want it to be too Romero like an influence, but he just kept enough in there to tie it in to Night of the Living Dead. I just love how they use that, as a cover up. No, a lot of that was embellished, but the real story is not as extreme as that, but there was really these reanimated corpses that came back to life, and they sealed them off immediately and they put them in those fucking tanks, which they look fucking creepy as hell. When they wipe the dust off of that one,
yeah.
you see the tar man inside. It's oh man, it's fucking awesome. I like that.
I have to say, like, because once I think it was Frank, he's like, he asked, "Oh, are these? I should what are they? Wait,
I got it.
this is why. All right, this is why I needed my phone. Adam, if you're watching, find me
No,
my
what are you
phone.
doing? Come on, I got you. What do you need,
No,
man?
I know, but in case I needed to look something up.
Oh, we're live, pal.
But yeah, so that was the thing. Like they're saying how
Freddie and
this-
Frank. There you
all
go.
right.
Fred.
So he's saying, "Oh, this is safe. Don't worry." And he hits it, and then the gas goes all over. And like, the thing is, as you watch the movie, you're expecting a zombie movie is going to be a little bit more on the serious, on the scary side. But this one just had two bumbling idiots that just progressively made their situation worse. And then, once they meet the first, zombie, it was just, a comedy of errors and everything. And they said, well, what did that movie do? Do the
Yeah,
brains. He hits the picket and it's still moving. And he's like, it's still moving. Like, what do you want me to do? And that's what I liked is that, yes, this movie actually showed you variety of zombies. It changed the lore itself of the zombie. But just the fact that you just had people make stupid choices, and I can't, as I'm watching it, I did 2 watches on it, by the way. I watched it by myself.
But this wasn't the first time you've seen it, right?
No, I mean,
You'd be
here's
surprised
the
with me
thing.
sometimes with this.
No, here's the thing. I knew I saw it when I got to one scene.
Oh,
And it was,
sweet.
as I was watching it, a lot of things were coming back. It'd been a long
Oh,
time.
by the
honestly.
way, when I saw it, I know it's streaming on Amazon. That's where you've seen it, right? It's on Tubi as well if you don't have it. But if you haven't picked up the steel case, if you open it, it's got the awesome fucking corpse, the half lady corpse. I'll get to this character later, but this is a 4K steelbook, gorgeous transfer. The picture quality is amazing on it. The sound's a little off on it, but I think that's just because of the film. It has imperfections as it is, so they kept it. But it looked great, and I went on YouTube right to get a few clips for the intro and stuff like that, and I saw how like horrendous that quality was. Like, oh my god, Jesus Christ! So yeah, man, I recommend get this if you're a fan of the movie and you don't already have the 4K steelbook, grab it. It has a lot of bonuses on. I haven't went through them yet, but yeah, sorry, go for it.
All right. Well, before I keep on, let's say hello because it's gonna be a little surprise coming.
Yeah, you got to read these. I'm blind as
All
a
right,
bat
that's good.
right
Go
now,
ahead.
son. There you go. The fourth corner. There you go.
Yep. Hi, my devilish dead. I can't do that word. Devilishly handsome beer brothers.
Hey,
John and I say hi.
who died?
John is our coworker.
All right, what up, John? Hello.
Oh my god.
The
he's right in
Return
front
of the
me.
Living Dead. Such a classic, and yes, I've seen this one. Yeah.
I know.
Alright.
Lexi saw it, and it's so
He
fun.
probably
That,
saw before you. Who knows? I'm kidding.
no. Like I said, I did.
I know.
see it. I'm good. Thank you. I did see it, but it was just it's been a long time, and sometimes you don't see a movie for a while, and as you're watching it, you're like, oh.
Mhm.
And like for me, I watched it by myself. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit tipsy. I had gone outside and said, you know what? I remember this was supposed to be kind of a bit of a comedy. So let me go ahead, pack myself a bowl. Did that, came in, sat down, put it on, and like I sat there and I was like, I actually enjoyed the ridiculousness of it.
It's great. I think this movie, for what? First of all, like the characters of Frank and Freddy, horrible actors, man. I don't know if but I think as watching this back, it must have been done on purpose. The fuck was this?
Trust me, I just didn't want to have my face all in front of everybody.
Oh,
Keep going. Sorry.
he threw me off. I think it was done. It gives the movie a lot of over the top charm to it. Because when I
Yes.
first saw this when I was younger, just like Dawn of the Dead, I was like, oh man, I can't get into this. This is too cheesy and But when you watch it, it does gives you a certain charm to it. Like the over the top lines and the performances, like I can smell your brain. It's so ridiculous, but it's so memorable. Now, I do like that aspect of it, and we'll get to it later. But I do love the punk rock soundtrack to this movie. I'm not a fan
knew
of
you
like
were.
rock in films, but the fact that this was like punk influence through and throughout, it doesn't age it at all. It encapsulates it in this era. This is 85, same year as Day of the Dead, mind you. That movie bombed, and this one was actually more successful because it
Yeah.
was more lighthearted, more approachable. It's more of a casual fan could probably see this movie and enjoy it more because it's not as depressing as Day of the Dead is a depressing film, and this one is definitely it's fun, a lot more fun.
Yeah, I mean,
as far as for a mainstream fan or casual fan, rather.
Well, and the guy that played Frank was the boss, right?
No, Bert.
Bert.
That's Clue
right.
Gallagher.
All right, so Bert, that was the boss in Poltergeist.
Yeah, he was also in Feast, the bartender. Yeah.
So like when I saw him, I'm like, I've seen you in other
He's
roles.
been in, no, he's been in
like,
so much. He's in a lot of.
You've been so much better,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, okay, this is
He
intentional.
was the best actor in this movie by far.
basically.
If you notice, there's a scene when Frank and Freddy are like arguing about what to do. Right behind them is a like when you go to an eye doctor and there's that chart and you had to read E A K shit like that.
Yeah.
If you look at that chart, if you look at it, it reads out Bert is a slave driver.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
By the way, if I'm having connection issues, if you see me, Joe, like fluttering or paused or frozen, let me know.
I will. You kind of did it right now after you said that, which was kind of weird.
'Cause- Yeah,
It's all right. I mean, it's live.
God dang, bro. Actually, you know what? No.
It's kind of StreamYard.
Here,
Sorry.
do me a favor, man. Carry it for 2 seconds. I'm gonna be right back.
2 seconds. Okay, I think I can do that. All right. So, yes, the movie itself, if you're watching it, if it's a first time watch, I'm just gonna ad lib a lot to this here. If it's a first time watch for you, it might throw you off. You might hate it. If you are a fan of the, slapstick, a little, when you think of this Airplane, that type of comedy, it has it in there. It can sometimes just be a little bit much. And some of the characters are kind of stupid. Like they make some really, really poor choices throughout this movie. But what I did like was that it ended up making the zombies themselves almost invincible. There was kind of no clear-cut way of how you can kill them. Doing the whole brain thing doesn't work. They chopped the one up and they ended up basically torching to create the acid rain. So it's really hard to kill these zombies.
Am I still fucked up?
No, I've been seeing you moving.
God, man. Sorry, man. I'm such a stickler for good production, and when I'm fucking got a bad internet connection, it always happens when we live stream. And it's always fine when I'm doing anything else. The moment we start doing anything live, it starts to flutter. I don't understand.
It's kind of also, you have to think, it's
It
not
is what it
always
is.
your internet. It's, remember that there's a lot of people probably on StreamYard right now too.
Anyway, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, so it makes that makes them invincible, and if you have all types of zombies, and it was when you called them the Tar one, when he went brains.
Oh,
I'm
Tar
like,
Man, bro. Hold on. First of all, it's Tar Man. That's probably after watching this again, Joe, I'm glad you brought him up. Probably the most, I think, to me, and this is coming from me, man. It's probably my favorite zombie of all time. This goes for anything. First of all, the actor who was behind it, he worked for the Jim Henson Company. He was a master puppeteer. Just the way his body movements alone, without even saying brains, more brains.
yeah.
Such a great character, man. Tar Man fucking rules.
Well, and so it'd been again a long time that I've seen this movie, but when we started doing the show,
You remember him?
brains.
Yeah, you
That's
remember
literally it. So when all of a sudden he goes
Brother,
brains,
it's in our
my
intro every time we do
all
the
right,
show.
I know. Like that's so I'm like sitting there going, I'm like, holy shit, that's where this is from.
Oh
You
yes,
know, and so yes, you know,
Such a
we'll
good
get into
feeling,
the
yeah.
zombies now because
Yeah.
again, these zombies, you know, they're all different. And when you played zombies with your friends as kids, you know, okay, who's gonna be the zombies? You walked around going brains, brains. But
And that's
when
where it
you
came from.
right, when you rewatched, you know, the Night of the Living Dead, at no point did a
They
single
never
one
said
go
that. They don't even talk.
brains.
They don't talk in that movie.
So that's where I found like, all right, I can see where this one is the gem it is. It introduced that zombie. It introduced the brains
Also,
that
too,
you retain.
I'm glad you brought that up because it also what I love about these zombies too, man. This is another thing, is that one zombie that's on the cover I showed you on the tin. It's that the half corpse lady. Awesome practical effect
Oh
on
God,
that. It must have
yeah.
been a puppet or something. And when she's describing what it feels like to be a zombie, she's like, "You're dead. You just feel nothing but dead, and you're in constant pain. Every inch of you is in pain, and the
You
only way
hurt.
to suppress the pain is by eating brains." So they actually gave you a backstory that's
Reason
emotional,
why.
and it makes you feel for the undead, right? And now
Yeah.
it gives them character. Now you could almost, in a sense, relate to them. It's such a good dynamic that was added to that. A lot of
I did.
people overlook that, and it's this movie's silly, it's stupid, but this movie actually gave you a reason to actually feel something, and you feel almost sad for these characters, you know.
And you got your like now knowing that that's the root of, at least now that I know that, you know, the Living Dead will be the, you know, they want brains, whereas the I know you explained it. I just want to re-explain it and get all
Yeah, go ahead, go
confused.
ahead.
No, but I know. And then with um Romero's, what he kept. What was it you said? You had his versions or what?
Well,
Dawn of the Dead.
yeah, see,
Living. So
the
he
Living Dead belongs to
Living Dead.
Russo.
All right.
Yeah, because remember,
So
Russo and Romero, when they did Night, they fucked up the trademark, the copyright, so they didn't make any money off of that movie. So he said, you know what, I'm taking the Living Dead, the Night of the Living Dead, the name. You could do your movies, but I'm keeping the Living Dead because, you know, obviously it's already tied to a popular movie, but I'm gonna make sure I get paid. You know what I mean?
I like liked that the zombies were not like the way they were in Romero's. That yes, I was like sitting here going, we complain about runners. If there was runners 40 years ago, the runners
Mhm.
didn't come from 28
It
days
wasn't.
later. The
I've always
runners
said
did
that.
not
Yeah, yeah.
come from, you know, any of
They
the Korean
popularized
horrors.
it,
The
but
yes, the runners became from Return of the Living Dead, at least for right now at this point. Let's go ahead and say a couple hellos here.
yep. One day I'll join the Beer Brothers. Well, you gotta have a beer to join the Beer Brothers. I don't know. All love. Norrad, hey, what up, man?
What's up,
My man
Norrad?
Norrad, the Silver Surfer himself. Hey, everyone. Stopping in to say hi and cheers. Salute. Cheers, bro. Return of the Living Dead. All-time horror comedy. Yes. This is... Man, this is... I'm not a... You know, horror comedy is kind of the least of the subgenres for horror that I like, but this is a one done right. And Norman as Lucio Fulci's Zombie is another great zombie movie. Yeah, we covered that already.
We covered that
here.
one, yeah.
Oh, bro. Oh, by the way, it's not a Lucio Fulci film, but we did Zombie 3. We did that one, Aftermath, and now we're gonna do After Death on the latest season of Horror Italiano. The trailer is up on the channel now. If you want to check that out. We got the villain. Going to be a fun seeing the cast at this year's Connecticut Horror Fest 25. Yeah, that's right. By the way, thank you, GR. The cast in this movie, first of all, we got Lena Quigley, man, trash. What an iconic character. The scene when she gets naked and starts dancing on the grave. I love this group of punk. I don't know they're degenerates. I don't know, but they got Spider, which that actor Miguel, he was in Friday the 13th. I believe it was part 3, the 3D one, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was in that franchise, but
He's
I
been in
loved
a
him in this
whole
movie.
lot.
He's another one. Actually, I said Clue Gallagher was the best actor, but I think Spider, he's another one. He was really good in this movie. Suicide, he passed away shortly after this film, unfortunately. The actor who played Suicide, he was the main one, the driver, obnoxious, one, the
leader.
abrasive one, the one that got his brains eaten. But yeah, and it's crazy because the main female in this movie, she almost was a non-factor in this movie. Freddy's girlfriend, like I've always remember her as the main character, but she's not at all.
Yeah, no.
So,
Well,
cool.
and I love how. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Just saying hi.
I love how Trash when she had said, where her fantasy of how she wanted to die, was for, people to come clawing at her and then eat her alive.
Yeah, exactly,
and then when
yeah.
the opportunity fucking happens, she was
Yeah.
screaming. You
She
didn't
was
see her going,
sick.
yes, this is what I wanted. No,
Yeah.
she's like, but these zombies, we have made fun of how zombies have looked. The practical effects obviously help this movie out. Again, it's 40.
Very practical, yeah.
1985,
A lot of puppet
so-
work. I love puppet work. It's to me, it's sometimes it could be a little cheesy, but I love it because a lot of care goes into and passion goes into making films with puppeteer and puppeteer work and practical makeup effects aside. It's like you make a movie and you pass it along. Okay, here's add some computer effects to this. It's not the same. The directors are not heavily involved in this. When it's practical effects work and puppets, the director's there, guiding everything, and it's just fucking cool as hell. It just makes the movie more like grounded as far as it just feels real. Now the caveat to that though, I will say this. Now that we're talking about the zombies, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
One thing I will say, I love the hero zombies in this movie, but background zombies, they were horrendous, man. Some of these people, they weren't even actors. I think they forgot they were in a fucking movie because they're acting like normal dudes, and they're not even acting dead. You know what I mean? It's like
No.
it completely takes you out of scenes. That's one of my nitpicks in this movie.
And
I
covered
wish
in
they
dirt
would-
or mud.
I wish they would have cleaned it up more.
Yeah, they're literally because that's it. It's especially when you have like the horde ones.
Yeah.
It's just you can tell it's extras that were just covered in mud because they
Yeah,
rose from
yeah.
the grave.
They're
Like, they
fresh
could've-
corpses, yeah.
Okay.
It's still,
that's
yeah,
a
because
good-
they're fresh. They're not, they
Yeah.
were probably just buried a week ago. But it's not
Yeah.
even that. It's just the way they were acting. They were just like some guy. You can
Just
see
do
some of them
something.
laughing, like they're just having fun. Like, oh, they probably got paid like a beer or something like that. Here's a beer and
I was gonna-
and a T-shirt, a production T-shirt. And you could tell they're just having fun. It's like, but I will say, when I was playing World of Warcraft back in I would say between 2009 2010 around there, we made a guild, which is a group of players that come together. You make a faction, a group, you do everything together. We made a new group and we named it Send More Paramedics. And every time we would go somewhere, I would always get a message, a little private message, like, bro, awesome fucking guild name. Then I'm like, you're a horror fan. What's up, brother? I met so many people because of that. In this scene, when the zombie picks up the walkie-talkie, the receiver, like, send more paramedics. I was like, it's so stupid, but so fucking memorable. Now, when they
It's
did
done
the
twice,
send
though.
more, yeah, but when they did the send more cops, you're running it to the ground now. It's not the same now. Come on, man. Don't overdo it. I hate when movies do that.
And that's where it's some of the little the comedy itself. They went
It's-
a little on the
it's
too
not
far.
a perfect film, but I just love, even with its imperfections, I cherish this one.
And the little person zombie. I
forgot
did that.
about- Yo,
Literally, I did that.
I forgot
was,
about him.
I was drinking. And when he popped up, I'm like, I literally spit out my water. So when I just did it, the way you just reacted, that was my reaction. That
When I
little
was
motherfucker showed
on my
up.
rewatch, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about the little man. And the way I think he was an amputee, wasn't he? He had no legs.
Maybe it was an amputee.
I mean, no,
I thought,
he was a little
person.
He was, but
but it was meant to look like.
I think I think the makeup work wanted to portray he was an amputee. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
'cause
was creepy the way he ran after that guy.
Yeah,
it was
'cause-
Ernie, right? Yeah, the mortician. He was great too.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot too.
But I ended up because they say when he walks out there and you see this zombie eating and then he looks up and he shoots him and goes back and then all of a sudden you're like, what the
He
fuck?
pops
And
up.
then he gets up and he's like running. Oh my god, dying.
There's people that have a fear of midgets and stuff. Oh boy, they would not like that.
I got a comment here. Say hello.
Oh yeah. There you go. Sean loves rainbows. Started hating Return. Wait, start hating
Hating?
Return of the Living Dead. Friend, hating.
Hating.
Who's hating on it? You don't like it, Sean? Tell us what's up. What don't you like about it, or are you thinking we're hating on it? We're not hating.
Oh yeah,
on it.
no, we're not hating on it. I fucking
We're
like I said,
nitpicking a few things, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Even like I mentioned before, even flaws and all, this movie's a fucking gem, dude. Oh, it's timeless. This movie will never age inappropriately. I think this movie it's a time capsule. You know.
I was glad I watched it alone.
Oh, yeah.
I was glad I watched it alone because I knew that if I would have watched it with somebody making negative comments, it would have just taken me out of it. Like again, I found it probably one of my more favorite ones that we've done in a while, especially since I haven't seen it in a bit.
Yeah. To me, the characters push this movie though. I mean, I love like Frank and Freddy, two bumbling idiots, and then when they start, when the rigor mortis starts setting in, like, oh my god, what's happening? Like, it's so over the top. And like I said, I love Ernie. We just mortician, with the headphones on, with a fucking, we got a pistol.
And he's
shit.
from something else. I swear
He's
when
in
I
other-
looked at him.
Yeah, I can't recall,
Um,
but he's in a lot of stuff. I've seen him in multiple other projects, but and then and of course, we got the punks.
Wait, keep talking. I was looking up the cast real quick on my phone.
Jeez, I told you I got the cast right here, man.
But I need to read it too.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Wait,
by
who's
the way,
this?
before we jump into,
Dímelo.
did you know that they're doing a sequel to it?
Miguel Nunez Jr. Yeah, 2025. Is it? Wait, no.
Yeah,
20,
and
next year, right? Is it this year or next year?
I think it's this year, and it's 18 months after the events of this one.
Who's making it? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I tried not to look because I figured, we might.
I mean,
end
that
up...
I would like to know who's behind it, but that's all right. Let me see. You got a comment here.
Ernie, all right, Ernie.
Look at Sean loves rainbows. Messages in the chat. Huh? Who that? Squeaky Bird. Squawky Bird. Adam M. When the skeleton arm grabbed him, you can't break that off. Well, that's the charm of it, man. It's supposed to be. Listen, man. This movie, when the reanimated fucking dogs that were split in half came back to life, and the butterflies that were like encased in the glass for fucking who God knows how long, they sprung back to life. All right, all rules are off in this fucking. Now you know what you're getting into. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's actually, I was at a pool party and there were a couple people there. I was talking that I was going to be on here.
Well, it could be.
I said, don't go on here and start messing with me. So if this is you guys, I'm going to kick your ass.
I love, but going back to Bert though, I love how he's a boss in nature, man. Like anytime if you noticed, he always bossed people around. He always had people doing everything. Like hold the door open, you stand there. When he opens the door, chop them up. You do this. Even when he met like the punks, they came and he started ordering them around and stuff. Like I think he boss that hard, dude. Such a great character. And I love how he was like, as the movie progresses, he starts getting more and more like depressed. Like, oh, I'm fucked. I'm going to jail or worse.
And when they had Frank trying to get to Tina, and he's sitting there holding her, and he's got the gun in his hand, he has that little moment of like, all right, shit's about to go down. I think I'm gonna have to shoot her in the head and take myself out. Like that's the thought process.
Yeah,
I thought.
yeah, that's where he was. Yeah. Well, they all perished anyway because they bombed the whole fucking place.
Yeah.
So all that for nothing.
That one guy's job.
Yeah, they cooperated. That guy was waiting his whole fucking life for this.
Dude,
moment.
his wife was over.
About to leave his ass.
Wife is like, come on. She's like, I have to be on. We have to find it. It's like all the time. Like, yeah, they hated each other. Yeah. All because his one single job. But was he in charge of the group when shit went south, and that's why he has to find it? Or did they just create this job because the government fucked up in creating the your marijuana killing toxin? I still can't believe like that's where they went though. Like I'm sorry, because when I rewatched it, I'm just like, really? So the government they created a toxin to affect our marijuana, and what it actually can do is bring back the dead. Good job. I mean, like,
you're right. It's
all
funny.
because you want to destroy marijuana.
You're right, because on my rewatch, I noticed that like there's so much more to this chemical, but the way Frank like kind of labeled it was a chemical used for marijuana. It was used for much more than that, but that's probably what they were using it for. But he didn't elaborate more on it. He just left it at that.
Yeah.
What the
So it
fuck
was
kind
something
of-
that was used, and then the government realized after they had that spill that it had brought back the like the dead, and they acted all twitchy and funny, which is kind of like
Yeah.
why they say people who are high they get twitchy and funny. So
Yeah, yeah.
it was it's definitely, again, the movie's a complete and total time.
And this is
capsule.
a king to me. This movie is like the king of the high budget B movies from the 80s, because
Oh yeah,
it's
for
it's
sure.
it's not it's a low budget movie, but it's still high enough budget, meaning they had good people behind it,
Yeah.
like Daniel Bannon, Russo, and even the actors, like the main actors, and then plus they had a lot of up and coming younger actors in it too. That's so but uh, this movie is a perfect film to show somebody a film that if you want an hour and a half, you don't care if they like it or not. You're probably already 4 or 5 beers in already. Fuck it. Let's watch The Return of the Living Dead. You know what I'm saying? And and the music, I can't stress this enough. The fucking theme, the theme music that they use for this, and the actual punk music. A lot of those are local bands too, that were used. I think this movie, the story's in Louisville, Kentucky, but it was filmed in Los Angeles. So a lot of LA bands were used for this. And again, it places this film in a specific time period, 1985. Greatest era of films. You're deep into the mid 80s, because I've always said the early 80s you're still coming up with the 70s. You don't just
Yeah.
go from 79 to 80, then it's a new era automatically. It takes time for the transition to happen. So 85 is that perfect fucking year. Oh man. Yeah. So when you watch it, it takes you back to that time, dude. And the fact that they used punk music for this, and you had like the punk characters, which makes sense. It's a good aesthetic to go with the sound, with the visuals goes with the actual soundscape used to bring this film to life. It all connects. It all meshes well together, man.
All right, well, let's go ahead and rate our beers, and then we'll go any last
Yep.
thoughts before we say goodbye. All right, so
You go first. Yep.
I'm gonna rate it just because of what my whole reasoning behind it. Again, drinking IPAs is not like drinking Miller Lite, Bud Light, Coors. It's different. They hit a little different. They hit harder, and you can't sit there and go to a pool party showing up with a 9% beer and hope that by the end of the evening
I'm
you're
listening.
gonna be able to walk out of there. So like you have to be able to find something that is going to give you your whole day. Like you could be able to enjoy it. Your friends aren't having to embarrassingly walk you out of the pool party. So I'm giving this one, it's a 5. It's a 5-pack out of 6.
Ooh, brother.
Just
that's
because,
pretty
and
good.
again, I've been trying to find those. You were the one that told me,
Yes,
hey,
yes.
I think, especially for the shows.
That's because I tried it. Whenever I would go somewhere and I'm drinking early, like you go to a picnic and then you gotta go somewhere else, and you're not gonna be drinking all day. You can't be drinking these high. At least for me, I'm not. If I drink all these high percentage, I'll be out / tired, this and that. But yeah, you drink an all-day IPA, and you could gradually drink throughout the day, and you don't feel heavy and tired or nothing. You don't get fucked up, unless you drink them one after the other and mixing in shots with it. But you don't do that.
But no, thanks for the recommendation. I'm looking for one because, like I said, it's been my mission, and I might. I'm gonna stand on this one for a little while. I found the one that, like, again, we've gone to places and, like, if I run out of beer and do you have any? Oh, Bud Light, no. I'll drink water
Bro,
at that
speaking
point.
of Bud Light, this is a little bit off topic, but I'll make it quick. Have you started Peacemaker yet?
No, not yet. I'm
So
going to.
it's not really a spoiler, but it must be sponsored by Miller Lite, because anytime someone grabs a beer and they always show the fucking labels Miller Lite, they have a party, everyone's drinking Miller Lite. Fucking John Cena gets fucking smashed off of Miller Lite, bro. Get the fuck out of here. I can't stand Miller Lite, Bud Light, anything like that. To me that's trash beer, dude. Ugh. All sugar.
Well, Before you give your
Yep.
rating, go ahead and do the
Yeah,
comments
yeah.
real quick.
Oh, right. We got the Ray. Here we go. I've been waiting for this.
Hooray!
When I first rented this when I was a kid, my parents were in the room. They didn't care about the gore, but when the chick got naked, they got all pissed at me like like I wrote the movie or something. That was a great moment because it was full frontal nudity, and you didn't get that a lot back then. At least for a movie like this. If you watch like one of the old like horror Italian films or anything like from anything foreign, yes, you get it all the time. But for like a mainstream, this was a mainstream film. I think Orion released it. Yeah, man, that was great. Trash is such a like she's a memorable character. All right, and Debbie 4-star. Just watching, haven't said anything. Word, I
That-
love it.
Debbie,
yours?
thank you for today's pool party. That's what remember,
Oh, there you
remember when I
go.
said that there was somebody that was going to tune in and the comments that I wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
sure. So I was wondering if I thought maybe it was Debbie and Jimmy, their husband and wife. So I thought that they were the other two comments. So I guess I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Yep. And the beers just kind of kicked in because the giggles just kicked in.
For me, so far, this is 3 out of 6 so far.
You don't like the thickness. No, sorry.
No.
That sounded bad too. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. I'm used to it now. I've been as you go along, this is strong. I'm already feeling this shit. Bro. No, you know what? I'm gonna go up 4 because now that you mentioned thickness, pause. I don't feel it no more. As far as it don't bother me. I'm
Good.
having a good time with it, and I'm already feeling. I could tell when your ears start tingling, and it goes all the way down to your toes. Oh wait, hold on. Let me slow down. Because I forgot. I drink 7, right? That's like the highest I go. But normally I like to stick between like 6, 6.8, 7 highs. But when I go to restaurants, I like to get higher stuff because you're gonna eat. It evens it out. But
Well,
yeah,
and
man,
they're
I'm
gonna
feeling it.
charge you an arm and a leg too. So at
Yes.
that point, you might as well get the fucking stronger
exactly.
beer.
You get one fucking tall, which is rip off on its own, but that's what you do. But yeah, man, it's a 4. I like it so far. It's no bad aftertaste too so far, which is good. And with this artwork on this can, and blue is my favorite color.
Love
And
blue.
I love the can. I had to get it. I was like, and I was looking around, bro. I saw a lot of cool cans, a lot of cool variations, but excuse me, I want an IPA. I'm not a fan of like bloggers, and I don't want no spritzers. And to find a good IPA that's not over like 8, everything is like 9. There was one, it was like 9.5, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah,
What the fuck, we're trying to murder people?
That's the problem with when I try to look for the tall boys, because we had the barbecue today, so I grabbed my we have our show for tonight, so I grabbed my beer for tonight, and I got a barbecue for tomorrow, so I grabbed the same beer for tomorrow. But yesterday I'm like, well, I'm doing some yard work. Let me get a tall boy. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, are they trying to kill people? Like, can I find? And I finally, I ended up getting the hazy little IPA, which is still a 6.7, to
that's
a 4.
I love that. So that's to me.
Oh, I
that's
like
the
that one.
Perfect one to drink and not get too fucked up, and you're gonna feel a nice buzz.
But it seems like all the other ones were like these, like high level ones, that were just way too much. Any other last things on Return before?
No, I would just say if you haven't watched it, listen. If you don't like it, I understand. It's not for everybody, but it is it's a you know what it is about this movie? No, actually, I was gonna say it's a good gateway horror, but no, it's not. Not with the nudity. you can't watch this with the kiddies. You know what I mean? Actually, the perfect gateway horror is Gremlins. I live
Oh
with
yeah,
that.
hello, they're all right there.
That's the perfect film to introduce a younger fan to horror films. But yeah, man, it's a great film. I love the aesthetics. I love the EC Comics feel to it. Aside from like the bad background zombies that kind of take you out of it, I just love the personality of these corpses. And again, it makes you feel their pain. They suddenly become like characters. They're not just zombies. Now you get it. Now you feel like when Frank when he found out they're dead, when those paramedics came in, there's no pulse, the room temperature, the rigor mortis is setting in. Frank knows you can't kill him because they went over this. So imagine living your entire life like that now. You don't die. You're gonna end up being a fucking husk, but still alive and in extreme pain. So he burns himself. Even, and I love the little foreshadow where, oh, I could do that if I had to. That's why we're going to this guy. You know what I mean? And I love the little gag with the step. Oh, watch your step. That third step to kill her. Eh? Everyone that walked by, they kept having to avoid that one fucking step. I love shit like that. But again, it makes that scene when Frank burns himself mean more when he takes off the ring. Because you know, I'm fucked. This is the only way I'm gonna have any sort of piece disintegrate me. No, not even ashes, bro. That's how high they have the fucking fire. But again, when the whole town gets bombed, it rains again, and it starts all over again.
All over again.
But yeah, I recommend this movie. At least give it a chance. Watch it, and definitely pick up that steel. I think I want to shout out our guy, man. Blood and Brews. Albert is the one that put me onto the steel book. I saw him post about it first. I was like, oh my god, I need that in my collection, so I picked it up. So shout out Blood and Brews, man. That's a great guy, man. Check him out. Follow him on YouTube.
All right, before I say goodbye and what our next show is going to be,
yeah,
we had one more.
Yep. Debbie, all day IPA is great. No shots.
Agreed.
There you go.
All right, so with that, thank you for joining us on Thursday. If you did not watch our last episode where we on 3/4 of horror, where we discussed the remaining films of the year that we're looking forward to, we announced that we're going to be doing season 2 of Twisted Metal. It is currently streaming on Peacock. All the episodes have dropped, so you're able to go ahead and binge watch that. Join us next week. We did season 1. Obviously, we have to do season 2, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. And for next month's live stream, we are going to be doing Quarantine. And for that one, I'm going to go ahead and get a stronger beer because I love it. I hit the phone. I love that movie. I've seen it so many times that even if I am a little buzzed, I can pretty much, still talk on the movie.
The one rare time where they make a film, like a foreign film, and they rapidly make it into an American remake, but both films are strong enough to stand on their own, which is very rare that happens. They're both great in their own way, but they still maintain that same feel that you got when you first watched Wreck. Oh man, yeah, I can't wait to talk about Quarantine.
All right, and wait, before we go, say goodbye.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Oh, just.
Oh, sorry, I'm a little. Twisted Metal is so dope. Yeah, I love the video game. By the way, this is why I'm into the show. I just started season 2. I don't know anything about it. I'm 2 episodes in.
It's so good.
It's still early for me to make an assessment, but I loved the first season. It was fun, and I hope they keep true to the game though. I want the actual. I know Mr. Grimm shows up so far. They showed his face already. I don't like that, but it's fine. Okay. It's fine. I'm not gonna judge it.
It's okay.
I'm gonna give it a chance. Okay. Never at. Oh, no shots. I'm assuming that's. Love you. You're great.
Oh,
everyone
thank you.
loves Joe. Who doesn't like Joe? Everyone loves Joe. Joe the psychologist. Sorry, brother.
All right. With that, thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
As
everyone.
I said, join us next Thursday for Twisted Metal, and at the end of next month when we do Quarantine. Until next time, don't get motherfucking bit.
Send more paramedics and cops. Look at Joe. Look at Joe's face. Look.
I got my last sip of my
Look at
before
Joe,
the end of
look
the
at
stream.
Joe. Look at Joe. See Joe? Look at Joe.
Stop fucking with me.
Look at his smile. Look at his smile.
Destiny's devils be savages. Slim to none chance with the averages. Sinning on the low like you added slick. Darkness make you disappear like a magic trick. Put up to the table, come down and sit. These devils try to tie you the crown with it. Now you surrounded by counterfeits, trying to chop you up into 1,000 bits.